Hello, brothers and sisters. Thanks for joining me again. This video here is a little bit of a follow-up to one I did a few days ago. So a few days ago, I did a kind of a react to Keir Starmer and Trump's press conference while they were over there, and Trump was a little bit critical of the UK's policies on migration and free speech, and Starmer looked very, very uncomfortable. And then I came across this video today titled Keir Starmer Caves to Public Pressure and Gets Tough on Illegal Immigration. And this comes out of Sky News Australia. I'll put a link to the full video in the comments. I don't know if we'll watch the whole thing, but that way if you want, go ahead and click the full link and watch it. And I don't know if my stuff gets seen in the UK or if it's being censored. So if you're from the UK, hey, please leave me a comment and say that you're seeing this in the UK, because I really don't know. But anyway, so again, this is a little bit of a follow-up on that. It looks like this is Sky News doing commentary on illegal migration mostly, but a little bit of free speech as well, and kind of a little bit about the Trump thing. I've watched most of it once, real quick, and so we'll see how it goes. And I'll just pause it here and there to talk about it as it goes. But it looks like this is a recent rally somewhere in the UK. I see the Union Jack and I see the English St. George's Cross. So I always like it. It's really nice to see when people are being patriotic and flying their own flags. I'd much rather see that than any other flag. I just like that. And I also like that nobody's wearing masks, right? And so if I see anybody in any of these things wearing masks, I'll automatically think you're a Ned and you're a knucklehead, and you're there just wanting to cause trouble. And it doesn't matter which side you're on. But I see these look just like regular folk, normies out, for whatever reason at this rally. And I don't know what this rally is for. Justice for Beach Home Survivors. That's all. I don't know if his T-shirt has anything to do with the rally or if it's just a random T-shirt he's wearing. It looks like he's got a camera, so it looks like he's filming this with his phone. All right, so with that, let's go watch some of this and let's see how it goes.
After weeks of protests against illegal immigrants in the UK, Keir Starmer looks to have finally started listening to his people and is pledging to stop the flow of illegals into the country.
Good. I hope he does. So I think this is a video Starmer must have put out.
He accompanied the video with a comment saying, "I said that if you enter this country on a small boat, you will face detention and return.
Good.
I mean it." The hard stance by Starmer came after repeated protests outside migrant hotels in the UK following the arrest of a resident of the hotel.
Protesters have marched on a suspected migrant hotel in Essex after an asylum seeker was charged with sexual assault. Now, just look at the protesters. Protesters were heard chanting, "Save our kids," and some were holding up other signs. Let's just take a look.
Yeah, so this is great. These are just regular people, I'm thinking, and they should have a right to protest about people there that they feel make them unsafe. And the folk on the left will definitely say they're all racists. I personally don't care where you're from or what your skin color is or what your accent sounds like. If you're in a country illegally, we should deport you, and that's any country. Trump deported somewhere on the order of 50 Irish folk that were here illegally in America sometime in the last month. Great. And I'm Irish, believe it or not. So I'm completely okay with that. I don't care where you're from. If you're in a country illegally, go home. And if that makes me a racist, then okay, then I guess I'm a racist.
Save our kids! Save our kids! Save our kids! Save our kids!
Yeah, again, these just look like normal people to me. No masks. It's mostly women, and they're just out, like expressing their opinion. They're on the pavement, so this looks peaceful, no problem. I'm not a fan of blocking traffic. I think if you block traffic, you're no longer peaceful unless you've got a permit to do that, where police have had time to for everyone's safety, cordon off the area and direct traffic away from the protest. Then I think it's okay. But blocking traffic just annoys people. It makes people feel unsafe. But these look like just normies out, unhappy with the situation and expressing their opinion about it peacefully. Nothing wrong with this. Oh, here, let's read their sign. Make Epping safe again. I'm not far right. I'm worried about my kids. I don't know how anyone could be upset about those signs. I think it's great. I can't read the other one.
Very powerful message. Very powerful message.
Hillary, what more can you tell us about this?
Well, I think what was very important to focus on here is these are women. They're holding signs that definitely look very homemade. All the signs that everybody was holding were completely different. It wasn't like one of these organized kind of protests where some kind of company recruited people. So these are mothers that are concerned about their daughters. They're regular people. So I think it is so wrong to paint and portray regular tax-paying good citizens, these mothers, as far right-wing. No, they are concerned about their daughters. They're concerned about their community. And the fact that, and I'm going to be in the UK as of next week, and when I arrive at customs, if I was to say, excuse me, where's my free 5-star hotel, please? I'll be laughed at, or maybe I'll be jailed.
Okay, I don't like that guy in the balaclava. I don't know if I said this earlier, but if you're wearing a mask at one of these protests, then I think you're Ned and you're up to no good. And so, dude, take the mask off.
Won't try that joke. But really, Gabriella, this is the sense in the UK. This isn't right. This isn't fair to be spending taxpayers' pounds on migrants, providing free housing, free food for them, giving them iPhones and giving them games and pleasurable activities.
Yeah, so all of that stuff, I'm okay with charitable works and helping the needy, but really you should be helping your own homeless first. The people that you have in your own country that are sleeping rough, that are taxpayers or citizens who've been in your country, they should get preferential treatment. You shouldn't be allowing all these migrants to come in and then giving them benefits while not giving similar benefits to your own people. And I think I saw something like in the last year, it was somewhere on the order of 700 to 800,000 population increase in England and Wales, with I want to say it was 90% of that were migrants. And I don't know how many were legal versus illegal, but I would suspect the vast majority would be illegal, but I don't know that. I didn't really look into that statistic closely, but 700,000 is a lot of people in the UK. You guys, you don't have the resources to accommodate that many people and your own people. It puts a huge strain on housing, puts a huge strain on hospitals. So you got to stop it.
They're committing atrocious crimes. And what happened in Epping was there was you have to say alleged assault of a young, I believe, 14-year-old girl. These communities don't want that sort of crime.
No, and I know people will say this is, a bad opinion. I know, but if I kick all the migrants out, then the ones that are the bad actors committing crimes aren't committing crimes anymore. So crime goes down. And I know that most migrants are law-abiding and just want better lives. I actually do understand that. But we can't take everyone. Sorry. And again, the bad actors mess it up for everybody. So, and I can't tell who the good ones are from the bad ones. So you know what? We should just kick them all out. Completely okay with that. Then they can come back legally, and then everything will be fine when they come back legally.
And perhaps what pushed Starmer over the edge and forced him to rethink his response to illegals was his meeting with Donald Trump in Scotland. Trump gave a stark warning about the future of the UK and Europe under the current immigration policies.
I like your Prime Minister. He's slightly more liberal than I am, as you've probably heard, but he's a good man. He got a trade deal done. On immigration, you better get your act together, or you're not going to have Europe anymore. Immigration is killing Europe. And the other thing, stop the windmills, killing the beauty of your country.
And when Starmer was asked about Trump's successful record on illegal immigration compared to his own, Starmer stuttered and stammered in a very awkward manner.
The president makes it look easy dealing with illegal migration. You must be envious of his record in such a short period of time.
Well, I think we've been discussing irregular, illegal migration is a huge issue in both our countries. In the United Kingdom, it is a real cause for concern, and that's why we must bear down on it.
So Starmer basically said nothing there, in my view, and he looked super uncomfortable. He did not want that question to be asked because he didn't have a good answer for it. It's as simple as that. Yes, it's a problem, and it's your job to solve it, mate.
When Starmer stammered about irregular illegal migration as opposed to regular illegal migration, well, it was clear his brain was going into full malfunction. I think it's called stumbling to find the right lie. Have a look at Starmer's face when Trump explains how a good government cuts taxes, provides cheap, reliable energy, and has a sensible immigration policy.
But generally speaking, the one who cuts taxes the most, the one who gives you the lowest energy prices and the best kind of energy, the one that keeps you out of wars, he's kept you out of wars, but the one that keeps you out of wars, you have a few basics and you can go back 1,000 years, 1,000,000 years, whoever does these things, but low taxes, keep us safe, keep us out of wars, no crime, stop the crime, and in your case, a big immigration component, because I know that your attitude has become strong on immigration.
And so it seems like Starmer has finally decided to talk tough, but commentator Esther Kraku isn't holding her breath.
Yeah, so he's talking tough now, probably because of all the immigration protests, but will he actually get anything done? The Reform Party is coming on strong. From everything I'm reading, if there was an election today, I think Nigel Farage, their leader, would be the next Prime Minister of the UK. So hopefully Starmer can hold on to his coalition and stay in power till the next election. I think it's due in 2029. So he's got 4 years unless something really bad happens. And hopefully he can turn things around. But we'll see. Farage is nipping at his coattails there.
It's just extraordinary to me, Esther. I mean, if Britons had been told, look, the price of accepting more and more illegal immigrants, what is it now, 25,000 this year alone so far, is that Britons lose their free speech. What do you think Britons would say to that potential deal if they'd been asked?
It would feel like a dystopian novel. I mean, Keir Starmer's whole election pledge from last summer when he won election was he's going to smash the gangs. So far, the gangs seem to be doing better than ever. I don't know if he was being cheeky when he meant smash the gangs. He meant something a bit more inappropriate because so far as I'm concerned, the gangs seem to be his best friend because they're the only people that seem to be benefiting. I mean, the average revenue for many of these people smuggling gangs is estimated to be over £1 million a month. So they don't seem to be doing too badly for themselves, and the crisis seems to be worsening, and people are being basically bullied to be silent because we're now seeing police, instead of solving crimes like burglaries, are turning up at people's houses to ask them why they tweeted things. I mean, in the most extreme case of Lucy Connolly, she's serving 31 months for a tweet she deleted about half an hour later.
Yeah, that was really a travesty. A woman, was really angry about what was happening with crime down in the south of England, and she put up, what some might think is an inappropriate tweet, but she got like 2.5 years for that. That's crazy. That's Looney Tunes. It's like she at most, maybe a fine and maybe a year, maybe if it was really bad. But no, it was a tweet. How do you get jail time for a tweet? It's crazy.
So it really is a dystopian nightmare come to life.
Look, the whole thing is really weird, Esther, and It seems to me that it would have been easier had the government simply stopped the illegal immigrants coming into Britain in the first place.
Indeed.
I mean, how hard is it? You've got a giant moat. I thought that could be of some use to the country, but there you go.
Yeah, what
And
is the Royal
illegal
Navy
immigration
doing?
is only one of several issues Keir Starmer is contending with at the moment, with many in his country slamming him for going against Donald Trump and recognising the Palestinian state.
And you know what I found extraordinary, Darren, when Keir Starmer made his announcement that he would, he threatened to recognise a Palestinian state later this year. He said, well, it's about working towards a two-state solution. Well, Hamas doesn't want a two-state solution. And this is what I think the world leaders don't understand when they're making these pledges, Darren,
This is true.
is that Hamas doesn't want peace.
No, they don't.
Absolutely right. Standing up at the United Nations, making yourself look nice around the dining tables of all these globalist leaders, whilst waffling on, as you say, about a two-state solution. It's just him grovelling to Hamas and, frankly, I'll be honest here, to pro-Hamas sympathising MPs within his own party, while actually betraying one of our closest allies. It's both illegal, it's both immoral, and if this is Starmer's foreign policy, summing itself up, really, then we need to actually bin this government. We need to stand with democracies, not terrorists. And actually, I think the fact that we're having to say that, Danica, tells you everything we need to know about the state of the United Kingdom today.
And
So Darren, dude, I agree with everything you said, but lose the lipstick. That's worse than JD Vance's mascara. But actually, yes, I agree with what he said. And, it looks like Darren Grimes, Reform UK councillor. So he's in Nigel Farage's party. Yeah, I completely agree. It's pointless to try to appease Hamas. They don't want a two-state solution. They don't want peace. They want the destruction of Israel. That's what they want. And they want nothing less. And they've said it many, many, many times. So if you push to appease Hamas, you just kick the can down the road and we do this all again. And I don't know how to fix Palestine. This problem has been going on since the end of World War II. So it's, we're like 80 odd years. This has been a problem, and I'm not smart enough to fix it, but appeasing Hamas is not the way to fix this.
The United Kingdom today.
And outspoken commentator Douglas Murray doubled down on this, blasting the PM for his rigid stance on freedom of speech, which makes it difficult for people to speak out against immigration and censorship.
Joining me now is the author of groundbreaking works, international bestsellers, including The Strange Death of Europe, The Madness of Crowds, The War on the West, and his latest on democracies and death cults. Douglas, let's start with the state of free speech in the UK. Keir Starmer again assured the world that the UK values free speech.
Discuss the importance of free speech today.
Well, free speech is very important. I don't know if you're referring to any place in particular. Perhaps they are, but
We've had free speech for a very, very long time here, so we're very proud about that.
Bullshit. Every time I see this clip, I'm like, dude, you are lying through your teeth and everyone knows it. You don't care about free speech. You don't like anyone saying anything that the government doesn't like. This is like JD Vance just said when he was talking to Lammy at his house. This is exactly what the Biden administration did during the COVID crisis. Any speech that you don't like, you want censored. 100%. And you guys do it sneakily. Sometimes you have Facebook and Twitter do it for you, and then you say, hey, it has nothing to do. I have nothing to do with it. Facebook and Twitter did it. So you guys are all lying through your teeth on this free speech thing. I just saw a video, and I just posted it on one of my earlier videos about the police chapping a guy's door just because they had him on a list that he was going to go to a protest, and they wanted to hand him a pamphlet about properly peaceful protesting. We never actually saw what the pamphlet looked like, but that's about as Orwellian as it gets. That's something right out of Minority Report. That's the kind of things that the people in the UK are allowing, and some people are calling free speech. It's rank hypocrisy.
But tell me about the UK's Online Safety Act.
Oh, right. And I just did a thing on the Online Safety Act. Everyone thinks it's just for kids, or that's how it was portrayed. And if it was just for kids, I might be more okay with it. But it's not just for kids. They're using the Online Safety Act to censor adults and send the police around and arrest people more easily that are adults for speech the government doesn't like. It's crazy, but then they're saying, oh, we did it for the kids. Well, if you did it for the kids, why are you arresting adults and using that law on adults? Well, so let's see what this guy has to say about it. David Murray, I don't know who he is.
Got something similar happening right here in Australia. We're told, like in the UK, it's all about keeping children safe.
Yeah, it's all about
kids. Is that how you see it?
By the way, that answer that Keir Starmer gave there, I mean, it's just yet more robotic Starmer. That's exactly what he said the other week in the Oval Office when reporters also asked about the free speech problem in the UK. Yep. And he said in that same robotic way, we've had free speech for a very long time in the UK. Yeah, well, it can be dying on his watch. Just because you've had something for decades, indeed centuries, doesn't mean that it survives as a force of nature unless it's protected and defended in this generation. And Keir Starmer's government has decided that a priority in almost any real life situation is not to deal with the real life problems that occur, but instead to crack down on online content and much more. This has got to such a pass that now the Starmer government and Starmer himself pretend that all these online harm stuff merely has to do with issues of child pornography and so on, and that anyone who's pushing back against the online harms bill must be therefore on the side of child pornography. No, that sort of filth is already illegal. You already go to prison for that stuff. It is such a weak and pathetic attempt to defend something that is essentially indefensible, which is citizens who have said nothing illegal being visited at their homes by the police for tweets and Instagram posts and Facebook posts and so on. It's a lamentable affair. And as I've said to you before, Rita, as we've discussed on this show, the very striking thing is that all the time, the government in the UK, as in so many other countries, Australia in particular, decide that if you've got a real life problem, instead of solving it, you should go to the secondary thing of how people are reacting to it online. It's so not fit for purpose.
Yeah, so I have to agree with what David Murray said there. Everything he said, spot on. Have no disagreement. Free speech is dying in the UK under Keir Starmer's watch, and people in the UK, you need to get out there while you still can and protest this so that we can change it. You need to vote in politicians that will stop this nonsense. Now, because the problem is, this isn't just like a labor problem, by the way. The Conservatives will be quite happy to use the same tools. Honestly, Reform will be happy to use the same tools. Politicians are all slimeballs, every one of them. I don't care what party they're in. I don't care what country they're in. They're just in it for their own power for the most part. And the good ones who join up are quickly corrupted, in my view, by the system. And again, they're just worried about their next election. And I don't know why they're all going this censorship route, but America did it too under the Biden administration, and it looks like the rest of Europe and the UK are following the Biden administration's lead in censoring people instead of, like David Murray said, fix the real problem that people are upset about. Then you wouldn't have to censor things. I'm very thankful in the U.S. we've got a strong First Amendment that protects speech. Thank goodness we have that. But even with that, the Biden administration was able to find ways to censor people. And it's happening right now in the U.K. So, people in the U.K., you need to wake up, keep protesting, keep fighting the good fight peacefully, to change the direction that Europe and the UK is going, and I'm hoping the US continues going the way we're going now as well. Okay, that's what I got. If you liked it, subscribe, ring the bell. You know what to do. Give me a like. If you didn't like it, don't watch me. Thanks. Bye.